Alright, guys. We are here with the best games of this week in StarCraft, and we find ourselves in the season finals elimination match of Group D. It is a best-of-3 match here to see who continues and who goes out in this group. Up here in the top right, this is Ting's Neeb. So Neeb actually had an absolutely astonishing season in the American finals. For those who didn't watch, slashed through Scarlet and Estrella like they were, like a hot knife through butter. He looked fantastic and said, hey dude, Estrella may have been the king. He was a placeholder king of NA. I am back and I'm looking good. But his opponent is, of course, the player who's got all the hype right now and doing a fake one-basey build. This is Clem. Clem definitely coming in as the favorite in this series, but coming into this match after a loss to Hero Marine. Big surprise for a lot of people. Now, he's actually going for a very quick expand, but he's going to hide it on the high ground as Clem. So he wants Neeb to freak out and go, oh no, you're one-basing me. Let's send probes all around the map looking for proxies. Let's delay my expansion. Already goes Cybercore before Nexus, though I think he was planning to do it the other way. And only mining 2 on gas, so it's going to be a very quick command center. Interesting. I guess if you're going Marine first, that does make sense here. Gotta prioritize. And this allows the command center actually to be at a very similar time to normal. Command center's just out of vision range. Marine says, die! Oh, he messes up his stutter step, and because of that, it doesn't matter. It still dies. So Marine takes it out. Barracks is going to lift off, build a reactor for itself. And it's going to be a very normal-ish build from there. The problem with these openings is if you don't really get respect from the opponent, like, if they're not afraid of you having a proxy factory, a proxy starport, they don't react in any way, you just end up behind. And a lot of players, their reaction to this will just be chrono boost, an extra chrono on their gateway. Build an extra stalker or an adept in the early game and otherwise chill. And that seems like what Neeb's doing. With the early Stargate, it's one of the greedier responses. He's not sending an extra probe to look for proxies. He's just going to poke the front with the adepts. I think for Clem, if he can deny that Marine, the Marines from with the get rid of the adept and then hide the command center for a little bit, that'll be great. And definitely doesn't want to let the shade in to see the 3 racks, or that'll be really nasty. So the adept saving its shade, wants to try and throw it up the ramp. Meanwhile is probing on up nice and hard. Second adept is on the way. Nice raise of the wall. Neeb unable to see what's going on. Clem's going to try and catch that adept. Says, hey buddy, you want to play with our guns? Command center's coming down though now. Like I said, I kind of wish he hides the SCVs and the command center. Yeah, but he doesn't bother doing it. And oh, Neeb's going to commit. The Marines actually chased a little bit too far, and that's at least 1 kill for the adept. Make it 2. We'll sacrifice its life for that one. Damages a Marine as well. That's acceptable for Clem, but it gives all the information to Neeb, who says, you've just expanded and you're building a good chunk of Marines. Don't really know what else is going, but that's fine. My Oracle's going to go in, look for the damage, and see if it can also scout what you're up to. Now, Clem, with no information at all in this game, should absolutely be rallying the rest of his Marines to his mineral line while these Marines cover the front. And there we go. Splits them up. Nice split on the Marines, so he's very well prepared. Engineering bay is there. We've got combat shields, stim, +1 weapons will be with the next 100 gas. Yeah, I mean, this is not a bad build order for Clem, but you can see in the work account that delaying the command center and not really getting any response out of Neeb simply does put the Protoss in a very nice position. Now, the Oracle comes in, sees the 3 racks, and we might see a stasis strat. I think he was going to take a third, but he pulls the probe back and instead drops a robo here. So he's going to go 3-gate robo, 4 gases, and get out just a bunch of defensive units on 2 base. Now, with this sort of play from Neeb, I wouldn't mind him maybe sneaking a corner base, but he probably wouldn't have the mobility to secure it later in this game. It's a good bit of damage, 2 kills already. And forcing missile turrets, no +1 weapons starting because Clem is having to respond to that. And Clem, he can't be affording to take any worker losses, really. The worker economy just does not look great for Clem. Worker comes in, snipes the SCV. Just little bits of damage, little bits of annoyance. He goes in again. Yeah. Okay. Careful, mate. 2 sentries can force field this ramp off. Sentries are a great counter to a 3 racks as long as you don't move out to your 3rd where they have open areas to engage. So Clem, he's got to be careful about stimming in there. There's not a lot of damage, but he could get his units split quite... Oh, perfect. Just lets 3 Marines through, none of the rest. And they're all wounded. If they stim again, they're so weak. And Immortal's out, warp in a few more Adepts or Zealots or whatever. You're not going to kill anything, not with a shield battery there. So Clem forced to pull back there. He's lost 5 Marines for 1 Adept. So 5 Marines for nothing just then. For 2 force fields, I guess. 38 workers. Factory's on the way now, so medevacs are a long ways away, which means the Protoss will be ahead on the tech. Robo Bay's already almost finished here. Dude, Neeb's just control. This is just good macro play. Neeb's not. I thought we'd see some cheeky bullshit in this series from Neeb just because Clem is Clem and he's so hard to beat. But Neeb is just sticking to his guns. He's like, I'm just a great defensive macro player. That's what I am the best at. And scouting, little light harassment, and good safe defensive play is all he's doing so far. He's got armor on the way on the forge, range, colossi. Oh, poking down the ramp there, picking off a couple of these Marines. Relation goes down. And he can still pull back to that ramp and use force fields if he needs to. Oh, Clem has to stutter step the heck out of dodge because he is just losing a lot of units for very little. A couple of zealots. Happy to trade that to lower that Marine count. Third base will now go down for Neeb. It's a very late third, but no third command center started for Terran. So Clem is not in that good of a position. Oracle needs to be careful. Preserving this Oracle is great because in this sort of game, you've only got one observer. You don't have a lot of map vision. If that Oracle goes down, you can't really track Clem's movements. Now, Clem stayed way too far on this side of the map. Those units were so wounded. That was way too greedy. I mean, you've got to exert pressure, but you've already done that by keeping Neeb off the third for so long. To now let these units die, I mean, Neeb has not got a very scary squad of units, but he's already shaved off enough of your hit points in your units. You've got to be careful. Look at this. Neeb is just reinforcing with slow zealots. He says anything to tank is fine. The Oracle is probably just going to turn on... Oh, it turns on its laser beam even. A bit of a waste. Should have just revelated. But Neeb is all over this. He's actually already probed that third up. He's got +1 attack on the way. Viagra is almost done for the Colossus. That'll finish in a few seconds to help extend that thermal lance. And the Marine Marauder is there on the right side. Command Center is going to go down. That's it. He's going to try and stim forward. He does a cancel. Oh, man. But look at the Colossus just roasting the Marines. Dude, this looked simple. I thought we were going to see fireworks from Neeb. We have seen clean, clinical play dismantling Clem's opening. And part of me wonders if Clem should have opened up with something either a bit more oomph to it, a bit more aggression, something like what Q has been doing, where he's opening up with a lot of this very quick reacted factory. Hellions, Widow Mines, and a command center goes down a little late, about 20-30 seconds, but it's still a great build. Look at this. Now Neeb's got to contain. It's either that or do a more macro-centric play for Clem, and I think he'll do that in the next game. But this was simple for Neeb. He's just, I mean, he's in control completely and is just dismantling Clem in this game. Cannon there on the third base. We've got a double drop going out of the left side. It's going to get seen by the observer, and remember, recall is always available. So the problem here is Clem will not know that he's being scouted. Neeb sees it. He can just recall that instantly. Yeah. Oh, and he's using his boost on the way in. Get out, run. He's going to catch one Stalker maybe, but no, even Neeb's got that on a lockdown. Pulls the Stalker to the left side to keep it safe. Blinker's on the way. And he's going up to 9 gateways is Neeb. He doesn't have charges yet. Oh, he's going to get surrounded. Force fields are good though, dude. Watch out. Oh, can he get the Colossus? Good force fields on the right, but they slip through. Oh, he gets one of the Colossi. Does Clem. His tanks get one volley off. Gets a few sentries, and he's got to pull back to the safety of those siege tanks. Oh, more units coming forward though. Remember, Neeb has a big reinforce. Clem's in a very far forward position. I mean, I know he feels like he's got to do damage here, and he kind of does, but got to keep track of Neeb's army. If you can get the tanks in that spot, that'd be really nice. Pushing through the middle, I don't actually like here. Opening these rocks kind of helps Neeb, in my opinion. Ooh, it's a lot of Stalkers. Not a lot of tanking in there for Neeb. But 3 Colossus say, get the F out of here, you shitbag. That's just way more Protoss than there is Terran in this fight. 1 Colossus looks like it might go down, but even that's a big question mark. It falls. So do the tanks, so do the Bio, and the Stalkers blink afterwards. The Vikings are falling. The second Colossus has finally worked its way around the left side, and Neeb, he's just dispatched to Clem here. Clem, I mean, it looked like maybe he'd get a bit of momentum with that. At the end of the day, his units lost tab just not looking great, and as Charge and 2-2 come in against him, struggling to get a third command center. I mean, I've seen Clem drag his way back into games against Showtime, so let's not give up hope on him yet, but if it was anybody else, I'd be like, you're dead! Just leave! Clem's a god, he's gonna fight it out, and he's very comfortable in these situations, playing from behind. He always makes sure his opponent has to work very hard to finish him off. He never makes it easy. I feel like there's a lot of players out there who under pressure sometimes get frustrated and leave the game. For Clem, I feel like he just goes through the motions when he's behind, just fights hard, keeps playing, just keeps playing. He loves maneuvering Terran units. He doesn't like being on the back foot that much, but he's happy to just do it as part of the tax that you have to pay to actually get him out of the game. There is never a point where you can relax, even when you're up 20 supply against Clem, Protoss first Terran here. Oh, nice snipe on the Marauder from Neeb. 4th base is on the way. 2-2 and charge is now finished. Do we have a Templar Archives? Yes, we do. Archon's going to be added in. You get 3 or 4 Archons in here with that gas bank. I guess 2 more Archons, so 3 in total. That's going to tank like crazy. If they land Splash on the Marine Marauder, it's big as well with their bonus damage to biological. Okay, so Neeb going around the left side here. Okay, he's going to try and take that one out. We'll see what goes on. Oh. Oh. Zealots. Okay, here we go. He's doing it. He's doing it. He's going to pull the trigger. He's going to pull the trigger. And the Bio has to pull back. That leaves the tanks exposed out in the open. It's a good arc of Bio. They still haven't even got through the Zealot front line. Not on the south of this anyway. Not to mention more Zealots coming in from the north. That siege tank doing a good amount of damage to the Colossus, but it's just not enough. Clem does fall, and Neeb taking a decisive game 1. An unfortunate roll with the build orders there in that first map. I think taking a bit too much damage from both the Adept and the Oracle as well. Things did not line up the way he wanted.
Thanks for the Bezos box.
This is Clem. It's his chance to bring it back. I don't really like those fake expand builds all that much. I just feel like the Protoss players, especially Neeb in that last game, he didn't respect it. He didn't build safety shield batteries. He just went across with an Adept, didn't even probe scout for proxies. So I think Neeb actually had the great preparation as a player there, where he actually studied Clem and said, yeah, you might fake an all-in to try to get respect, but how often do I actually see you do a stupid-ass one-base all-in? You don't do it. Why? Because you're Clem. You are so good at this game, you don't want to gamble on proxying a factory and a starport very often. And he was happy to take that risk, and it paid off in a big way. The fact that he didn't send a second probe out after his first probe died, just to check for the starport or the factory, I'm like, oh, dude, I would like never do that in a ladder game. That's freaking insane. But if I was playing a pro gamer Terran like Thermal in a ladder game, oh yeah, I'd absolutely take that. If I'm not favored, if I'm coming in as like a real underdog, yeah, I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm just gonna gamble and see if I can get away with this and get a really good start, and then I can just play a normal macro game. And suddenly he's not gonna outclass me so much when I'm the one who kicks off with the advantage. Ooh, Clem missed the opportunity to drill that probe when it was coming down. Because of that, the probe did get to regenerate a few more shields. Delays the command center by like 3 seconds, 5 seconds maybe. Not a big deal. Gateway and core on the low ground. That's interesting. What's that about? Wonder why he's got that down here. Proxy factory this time around, but it's command center into proxy. But it's not got space for the add-on. So he's just going to go get a bunker, get a marine, and he's just going to build 3 Hellions, a starport there. He's going to do the 3 Hellion proxy drop. Neeb, actually, funnily enough, being a bit more respectful this game. Oh, I guess because he's going... he wants to harass with the Adept. So Adept on the low ground, that's going to get across the map super fast. This bunker, if that's not in time, you're in trouble. Oh, I think it should barely finish, but it's going to be tight. And the shield battery, if a Reaper ran in, it would keep him safe. He's going to go Stargate again, so a big fan of the Oracle right now. Bunker is 5 seconds from finishing. Adept's going to try and focus the SCV down. Oh, it hit the bunker. Bit of a mistake there from Neeb, who now focuses the SCV. Actually blocks the SCV! Oh my god, shades of Warcraft 3. Neeb, keep it in your pants, mate. Holy shit. He's thinking about going for that SCV, but he decides to pull back. He knows there's more Marines on the way. Hellions and a starport there. That shield battery from the early game, even though he has no idea there's a proxy factory, that just happened to be there to cover him against the possibility of a Reaper. And because of that, it's actually going to be really damn good against this. Not to mention, if he goes Phoenix, but he does go Oracle, not as good for defending. That being said, Clem also won't have that much defense, especially if he skimps on his Marine production, which he's doing now. Why? Because he wants to build SCVs, Marines, and Hellions. They're the more important units. So a few seconds here and there where he's missing production on that. Now, he's trying to still catch that Adept. There's more Adepts coming across the map, which means they won't be at home at either. Oh, he's going to have to recall, I believe. He's building Phoenix after the Oracle, but that starport's almost here. 3 Hellions are going to be able to one-shot a lot of probes. Neeb, I don't think this is going to work out well for him. These 3 Adepts on the wrong side of the map. No recall energy in the main, only in the natural. The drop's coming in. The Adept's going to try and shade forward. The Marines are more than a match for them. And here we go. Hellions are inside the main base. Dude, okay, he actually manages to slow down the Hellions a little bit there with 1 probe. Oh, man. Okay, the Oracle's back. Actually, the Phoenix can lift. The Phoenix lift means he has to go to the natural because he can no longer one-shot probes through the shield battery healing. Oracle's here. Adepts go in the natural. They're going to do a bit of a distraction, so handling a bad situation as well as he could. The other Hellion does drop. He's going to try and get a few more volleys off, but that Oracle's laser beam is still on. He's got to wait for that Oracle to run out of energy. He keeps trying to lift them up and get a few more shots off. He does get 12 probes, which is still fantastic damage, and he goes right back in. Okay, maybe a little greedy here. They're all on red and orange. Can he get one more hit off? No, he can't. The Phoenix cleaned it up. But 13 probes go down. That is a lot of damage. The only weak spot here for Clem is that his factory and starport have to float home, and he did lose 5 SCVs as well. Did he kill the Adepts? He got 2 of the Adepts. The end of the day, it looks like similar units lost, but of course, just the fact that you're on equal workers against a Protoss is very good for the Terran. He's also got his 2nd and 3rd barracks up, so he's got that production mounting into the stim, into the shields. The +1 is going to be coming out on the eBay soon. 3rd Nexus has just started. This is a very good position to be in as Clem. Thank you very much, Spud. Appreciate the gifted sub there, mate. Thank you, guys. Okay, Phoenix gonna come in, get deflected by the Marines. Don't think they killed anything. Now I'm getting used to spamming this battle report. I like it. I really like it. Robo 3rd and 4th gas are on the way. So it looks like Neeb will probably go for a similar style to last game, but I imagine he'll go charge before blink because he's got Phoenix out for a bit of anti-air. Even just 3 Phoenix means he's going to be a bit weaker on the ground because he's invested so much. He's also behind. So he's going to need charge just to stop an army on the ground in a frontal fight. And he's also got, you know, a little bit of anti-air. Not as good as blink, only 3 Phoenix, but it'll do. And he can also harass with it. Widowmine says, nah. Takes that Phoenix out. Just a little bit of Marine damage, allowing that to be a kill. And I think he only got 1 SCV with that. Loses a Phoenix. That's not worthwhile. Oh, shit. That's a lot of Marines, dude. 25 Marines on the map. They're all coming across. And what do we got? A shield battery, a couple of stalkers. Okay, there's a shield battery on both bases. He's going to try and build another right now. Building an immortal. Oracle goes in the main. And oh, missile turret's not ready. Oh, he clicks it. Clem does keep building it though. 1, 2, 3, and the Oracle pulls back. Neeb goes forward. He's trying to bait stim. He's got to be careful though. He's got to be careful, mate. Ooh, Guardian Shield plus battery overcharge plus Phoenix lifts. Is it enough? It's a big ball of Marines, guys. Oh my lord, Immortal in the natural needs to pull back. With the battery, it's very fast. Oh, he tries to drag the Widowmine onto Clem's army. Clem dodges it and pulls back though. And most importantly, Neeb does survive. No Twilight Council, no Robobay. It's all basic units. Clem, go home. Same mistake he made last game. Clem's staying a bit too deep on the other side of the map. Yeah, he has to stim now just to get out of there. He should have pulled back. So Clem's being a little bit presumptuous about what he can do off this 3 racks production. Both games in a row now. He's got to be careful with that. Oh. Bit of a misclick there from Neeb. Ooh. 3rd command center goes down on location there. Only not saturated on the 3rd yet for Neeb. So Clem, I mean, he's not building workers right now, but he will be in a moment. Yeah, and he's not all inning or anything like that. Just biomine. So I think as long as Clem keeps up SCVs, he doesn't really have to worry about Neeb having too much of a long-term army. But he can't push into this. Multiple Immortals, Sentries, Stalkers is a very good mid-game army. Widowmine runs in there, does kill a couple of probes, I guess. Just 1 actually. Drop on top of the ramp is cute. The Observer pulled back by Neeb. Wow. Great control by Neeb, and he almost traps the units with the force fields. Meanwhile, though, battery in the main base is going down. Loses a couple of probes there. Goes for the Sentries, does Clem. Oh, he snipes the Sentries and leaves. And remember, the Phoenix died. There's no blink. He can do this all day. I can dance all day. I can dance all day, says Clem. And this is looking really good for Clem, just working off the back of that early probe damage. He's just rallying units in, picking them off left, right, and center. He's re-dropped. If he can lure these units in the middle, he's going to jump on them. Stalkers and Immortals, valuable units in the open. He's got to be careful of battery overcharge. Doesn't want to go too deep, but my god, he's got a lot of damage. Pull back from battery overcharge, I think. Oh, these Stalkers don't have blink. He's got to do another stim, though, does Clem. But Stalkers are so expensive. So expensive. Oh, Colossus, can it save the day? It's got no battery. Oh, no, he loses the Colossus. And Neeb does end up dropping that one. Clem tying up the series. All right, tied up one map apiece. Down here in the bottom left, it's Neeb. Up here in the top right, representing Team Liquid, this is Clem. So, you guys will notice I'm calling him Neeb, but his account says Neeblet. Did you guys know about the 2017 naming conundrum? So, ooh, gas first. Neeb's going to go very tech-heavy. So basically, what happened is back in the WCS, it was 2017, I think? WCS, or 2016 maybe. WCS decided that you had to play under the same name. And that had to be the name of the account that there were ladder qualifiers to get in Challenger. So your ladder account had to be that name, your tournament account had to be that name, and that was the only name you could play under, you know, competitively in tournaments in the WCS circuit. And Neeb changed his account name to Neeblet, and they were like, you can't do that, you need to be playing on Neeb. And he's like, but I want it to be called Neeblet. And they're like, no, these are the rules. So Neeb, being the idiot that he is like, oh, well, I'm changing my name to Neeblet. And we were like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm Neeblet now then. Like, just basically, you know, doing that thing where you're like, well, officer, I wasn't jaywalking. I just, you know, like, it's just like you come up with like the lamest excuse, basically. so he's like, yeah, well, my name is officially Neeblet now. And then they're like, well, no, like, you know, and then they're like, okay. He just stuck by it whenever they grilled him about it. And then, so they're like, okay, casters, you need to call him only Neeblet now, and we need to change all the graphics, and I was like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Just let the kid have his stupid Neeblet account. God damn it. And we're casting it, or we're getting reprimanded. They're like, remember, his name is Neeblet now. We're like, that's not his fucking name. I'm like, come on, guys. So this is kind of hazy in my memory, because it took me a while to realize, because I remember we were all legitimately angry as casters, like, his name's not fucking Neeblet. They're like, no, he said he wants to change his name to Neeblet, and he wants to sort of call him that. And I found out later it was because they said you have to have the same name, and he didn't. He was just, I wanted to have my stupid account. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Anyways, rules plus nerd who doesn't want to give in to stupid rules equals weird situation for the casters. Either way, Reaper Dance. So Clem's just trying to deny mining. Notice this main has 5 extra workers mining from it that want to be working down here, but needs to build a shield battery, a stalker, and sit at home fighting. Behind this, Clem gets the factory up. It's a bit of a later factory, bit of a later reactor because he's invested in that bunker, but that's okay because he's being annoying. Oh, he's so annoying. He's so annoying. Oh, he almost gets the adept. God, Clem's so annoying. And look at that. He's going to pop the SCV in and out of the bunker to be annoying as well. It's like, hey, I'm repairing it. And when he sees them try to click on it, he pops it back in, pops it out. He's like, I'm going to repair you. Pops out, bounces the units. Oh, Clem's micro is insane. He's doing this while macro. So he's popping home, doing his macro, popping back, pops out, repairs, pops in, pops out, drops a grenade, pops out, goes home, macros. It's just so silly. Oh my god, it takes him so... Actually, he doesn't salvage. Oh, Clem misclicked the salvage. Okay, he fucked up. So, as much as I was praising Clem there, and he was very annoying, you're meant to, when that gets towards the red, sell the bunker and get back 75 minerals. Clem did not do that. He misclicked it or something like that. And so it doesn't get that off. Now, oh, this is interesting. We're going to see a cyclone drop, are we? A medevac, a tank, a marine, a cyclone. Oh, because he expects the oracle, doesn't he? because he didn't scout, so he expects the Oracle. So he's gone the Cyclone for that reason, but he's planning a very early push because he's already gone a second barracks, has Clem, and he's going to actually bring that Cyclone across the map. He's like, hey, Oracle hasn't arrived yet. Does he go for it? Does he kill that? Okay, so Marines and Cyclones. He might ferry them all into the main base even. We'll see. Siege tank coming out behind that third barracks as well. So I think he's trying to just scare Neeb here. I mean, you don't want to commit much to this, especially not into Blink. If Neeb can hide his Stalkers until Blink's ready, that's actually the best thing he should do. And look at this. Yeah, he's like, oh, you don't have a third? Go home, Clem. Go home, Clem. Blink's it. Oh, he really thinks he's up against Stargate or something. He's got to get out of there. Okay, he's going to try and do a drop. But this is 4-gate Blink, guys. There's 5 Stalkers, 6 Stalkers with Blink. Dude, Clem, this is a very late drop. You can't be doing this late in the game. He sees some Stalkers. Blink is about to finish. He's got to be very careful. There's no bunker at home. And he stopped building tanks and he's gone straight into reactor. Oh, Clem! Clem is assuming that he's the one in the forward position. I mean, this is what gets Clem into trouble sometimes, is sometimes he assumes he's the aggressor and he gets overly... As people attacking him at surprising moments against him, where the frig is his tank production? And his bunker's just started. Now, he's got a lot of bio, so arguably he could be safe, but he's got to keep the bunker and that tank alive at the front. If these Stalkers blink in, kill the tank, he's in trouble. Now, he is going to pull that tank back and siege it up in a safer position, which is good. Oh, pull the Marines back. Takes a few shots for free there. Cyclone gets a lovely lock-on on the Prism. And, oh. Now, there's no way Neeb can blink in there. He does just kill the SCV, building the bunker. Okay, Neeb's got a pretty well-timed third, so he's not going parting on this. For those who don't know, going parting is when you click with your dick. It's when you literally have 0 restraint and you cannot hold back. Yeah, parting's the guy where he thinks someone looks at him wrong in the bar and he has to throw down. He's just like, you want to fucking go? His shirt's on the floor, he's screaming and shit. Like, but Neeb is a bit more of a contained fellow. So despite doing the classic parting 4-gate blink, but uh-oh. Neeb, get out of there, buddy. Oh, I think a scan might have killed that barely, but he scanned at the front to kill an observer. And, oh, he's trying to send a drop across the map, but it gets spotted. I would pull that back, Clem. Neeb saw that leave. Don't think he noticed it, though. +1 armor is on the way. Neeb always prioritizes the survivability over the damage of his units. It's an old school preference, but I really like it. I think it's really good. And there's a lot of people out there who disagree because they say, well, Neeb's not the best Protoss player, and the best Protoss players right now do attack. I think it's totally fine. As long as you go one and then the other. I really dislike people going +1 attack, +2 attack, +3 attack in PvT. Against Marine Marauder, they're these high damage units. Anything you can do to slow down their damage output is huge. Observer sees him coming. Drop on the left side. There's a shield battery there, so if he has a warp in, that'll be good, but... Ooh. 2 Marines go down for a force field, drop in the main base. 4 Stalkers are there, though, plus a battery. That's enough. Blinks back on the right. Goes forward on the left. Cleans up 3 of the Marines, forces the drop back. Siege tank does start shelling. Shield battery's there to heal. Remember, this is still a very even situation right now. I don't know if I'd say either one's favored, but I think for Clem, you don't really... I mean, this is not a huge commitment. Maybe if he drops the natural, but look at that great positioning with the Stalkers ready to blink to either base. I think for Clem, threatening is good here, but if you fight in range of battery overcharge, like if you go any closer with that siege tank, I think it's a really bad idea. Oh, we came in with a Widow Mines. They go in there and get 5 probes. The drop goes back in there as well, and he's going to pick up. His tank is shelling. He's acting like he's sitting there while his whole army rotates through the observer, though. Neeb does see that. Meanwhile, 9 probes have gone down. The Stalkers finally clean this up. Neeb, he was so busy, I don't think he noticed the rotate. And he doesn't have recall there. He does have recall in the natural. Colossus is there. He's going to F2 just to pull everything back manually. Robo's going to go down. Oh, wait. Can he get the blink? Can he get the blink? Can he get the blink? No, doesn't quite shut down any of those, and he lost his only Robo, guys. That's a freaking disaster. He's got 2 Colossus, 1 Immortal out, 1 Observer. He needs to rebuild Observers right now. All he can do is build Zealots and Stalkers, and on only +1 armor, that's not what you want to do. He's going to start +1 attack, Templar Archives. No Robo rebuild yet. So he might actually be like, you know what? I'm actually just going to focus on Zealot Archon and try to smack a bitch. Clem's trying to get out of there. Widow Mines. Oh, that one didn't even get to fire. Warp Prism's going to go across the map. Cyclone's still in position, though. That Cyclone's so shit in a frontal fight. Very useful unit for this, though. That Observer. What a heroic position on an Observer. It's really useful. Oh, no cancel! Snipe on the 4th base. Clem's got to get out. Run, Clem. Run to the left, run to the left. He's got to boost the medevacs and just leave. Just leave, just leave. Another squad tries to dive in, but it's a little close to the previous one, isn't it? The tank and the Widowmine do set up. He's trying to rally on forward. It feels like Neeb's pretty close to being on top of this, though. The bio does take out a lot of the zealots, but those are the cheap units, whereas there is a bit of technicality being removed from Clem's army. The size of it is still very scary. Neeb's Prism. Okay, it does lock on. It will kill the Prism, but that Warpin's going to finish, guys. Meanwhile, run by the natural. He's going to stop +1 attack. Oh my god, that's a great move. But Zealots are in the main base. Uh-oh, SCV's trying to get out of there. That drop. It's going to take out the battery and then the Forge. The bio gets left behind. One medevac gets out. These units are going to dive on in. Dude, these Zealots are tearing it up because they got into production so damn quickly. They are actually killing quite a few units popping out. But you know what? He clicks on the Nexus, but he doesn't confirm the kill. And Clem does lose a lot of units. Neeb is hanging on by the skin of his teeth. Tries to rebuild that 4th base. He's got fuck all map presence on the left side of this map. His Prism's now gone down. At the end of that last fight, he actually killed only 3 SCVs. I thought he would kill so much more. He did get rid of some mining time, but that's a 4th command center that is ahead of the 4th Nexus. 1-1 versus just +1 armor. He's rebuilding his double Forge, his double Robo now. He's trying to get observers out because Neeb is blind as a bat. He's trying to get some goddamn vision on this map and some disruptors for some comeback power. The one thing that's going well for Neeb, he's kept the 2 Colossi alive. They're going to keep adding value. He's got Archons. He's got a few sentries in there. So there's some technicality to this force. He's now adding 1-2 upgrades on the Forges. Like, he's getting the pieces together. He's got some Stalkers and Cannons and batteries spread around. So he's still got a decent defensive setup. There's no game-breaking tech for Clem. It's just the fact that the supply is good and he's getting a quick 4th, which means Clem is going to be able to replenish units very easily. What? Dude, this Observer. If I ever play Clem in a PvT, I'm putting an Observer over here, guys. It's seen his army movement so many times, and it's probably the only thing keeping Neeb alive at this point, honestly. Neeb sees everything about where Clem moves on this map. And Viking does go down. I mean, Clem's army's bigger? There's so few tanking units for Neeb, but it's can you find the engage? 4th base is up. Planetary slowly erecting 2-2 on the way, so the upgrades currently slightly ahead for Terran will continue that way in at least a small regard. Uh-oh. Watch out for the balls, boys and girls. We saw some savage balls from Zaun versus Maru catching up on GSL earlier today. That scan barely missed the Observer, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 barracks. Ghoster on the way now as well. Still no more barracks for Clem. Oh, watch out for the balls, mate! Okay. Shots don't connect. Still a very close situation right now. There's a battery there. Neeb is happy to fight within the area of influence of those batteries. And I think Clem has done some of his best work with the multi-prong in this game. But these observers right now seeing where he is, this feels very scary for Clem. Very scary. He doesn't see where Neeb's army. Neeb sees where he is. Clem, a little bit. Yeah, he's assuming that Neeb's afraid of him right now, but Neeb has the vision, and so he feels confident to take that fight. A bit of a flank coming in from the left side. Vikings are going to do a lot of damage to those Colossi. The Disruptors actually landed a shot on the flank from the left because he saw them coming with the observers. The balls smother Clem. And oh my god, dude. Dude, I was like, that flank's coming from the left, and then I just saw some limbs fly across the screen and a Disruptor standing there, and I was like, no fucking way. He should not have been standing there. The vision for Neeb and Clem really not respecting Neeb, saying, hey, I'm in a forward position. I'm the scary dog. I'm the top dog here. Neeb took a perfect engagement and says, don't you dare sleep on me, mate. I know people have been shitting on my skill level for the last year. Enough's enough, mate. I am still a god of StarCraft. I am Neeb. I am the player who won 3 WCS championships out of 4 in 2017. I am the player who broke the friggin' 15-year streak of no foreigner being able to win a tournament on Korean soil. He was the first time a foreigner won a tournament in Korea since Guru in 2000 or something like that. I don't even know. It was some ancient tournament. And Neeb broke that streak. He was the king of the first 2 years of Legacy of the Void in the foreign scene. And what an incredible player. Clem. I think he was in a totally fine position, was Clem. But dude, just not dealing with those observers, not catching them, and getting caught way too deep on the enemy side of the map. Nice win for Neeb. GG, well played.